Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm filming this video and it's actually my son's 5th birthday. It's 20th of January. I don't know exactly when I'm going to post this because I need to find some time to edit this video. But anyway, today I decided to dedicate the whole day on motherhood, on this topic. So I've been doing little Facebook posts and Instagram posts about my birth experience and also about postpartum experience, first months with a newborn. And that's how I came to this idea to actually also tell you about my breastfeeding experience. I already did a video years ago about my breastfeeding journey, breastfeeding with inverted nipples and how I managed to breastfeed. But I wanted to do an update since now the story has concluded itself. I'm no longer breastfeeding, my son is 5 years old, but I just wanted to share this journey with you, and hopefully it's going to be interesting and also helpful subject to you. If you are new to my channel, my name is SoniaVerardo. I am Croatian beauty, fashion and mommy blogger, and I post daily, almost daily on my Instagram and on my blog SoniaVerardo.com. Here on my channel you will find a lot of topics regarding fashion, beauty, lifestyle vlogs and just mommy videos, so I hope you will subscribe and like this video and also share it on your social medias. That way you can help my channel grow a little bit. Thank you so much. Okay guys, so I already have a whole breastfeeding story here on my channel, so I will link it down below. I don't want to repeat myself in case you already saw that video, and if you haven't, please go and watch it. But just to resume a little bit, I have inverted nipples, which made very hard for me to breastfeed. When I was expecting, I did not even think I was going to be able to breastfeed, just because, you know, my boobs are small, my nipples are inverted. My mom did not breastfeed me because she didn't get enough support at her hospital when she gave birth to me. Everybody just discouraged her. It was the 80s, formula was very popular back then, so basically they just neglected the whole importance of breastfeeding, and that's how I was kind of imagining I wasn't going to be able to breastfeed either. I don't even know what was I thinking, but basically later on when I started doing my research, I found out that all women can breastfeed. Obviously if they don't have a serious medical issue, but we are designed to breastfeed. Our body is designed once we become moms to breastfeed, to nurture our child. It takes a lot of support, it takes a lot of time, a lot of patience. It's like full-time job with long hours, you know what I mean? Because I was breastfeeding even, I don't know, whole day long basically, I don't even know. I was getting a lot of mixed informations about how should I breastfeed. Some nurses told me that I should breastfeed like every 1 or 2 hours, 15 minutes on each boob. But that wasn't working for me because my little one wanted to be attached, you know, the whole time basically. So yeah, the first months or even a year are very challenging for that matter, and especially if you are a working mom. If you have time to dedicate to this experience, and also if it's something that's bringing you joy, that you're comfortable with, and that you just want to proceed, I think the most important thing to know in your head is that it is possible, it is a natural thing, your body can do it, you're designed for it, and just don't pressure yourself. I had this mindset where I was like willing to try and just go on, but I wasn't really sure whether I'm going to make it or not, and I was okay with, you know, just having done my best. Even if I failed, I wasn't taking it in so seriously, you know. I wasn't heartbroken about that. First days in a hospital, I wasn't still getting milk. Milk arrived, I think, the 3rd day after I gave birth. So the first few days I did not have enough milk, and my son had a little bit of issue with attaching to my nipples because I had inverted nipples. So what they did in hospital, they gave me nipple shields which is something they give you only in these cases, in case your little one has problems attaching. Because nipple shields can actually reduce the lactation, reduce the producing of your milk, so they aren't a very, good thing to use. But in my case, they really made this journey happen, because if I didn't have those, my son would not have been able to latch, to attach. In hospital, they also gave him formula milk, and they advised me when I come home with him to just continue with breastfeeding and also with formula, because obviously the priority was to feed him, so he would grow and prosper, obviously. So I was breastfeeding, and then I would give him formula, and I noticed he would drink, everything. So obviously he wasn't getting enough from my breast. We actually continued like this for 3 months, maybe even 4. He was on my milk and also on formula, and a lot of nurses actually told me that once he starts drinking from the bottle, he would not want to attach to my boob. But this wasn't the case. Obviously every child is different, so he really wanted my boob, even though it wasn't giving him enough milk. But he just did not prefer bottle to a boob. We actually had very difficult time trying to give him bottle. He was just refusing it. So I don't know, remembering those days, it was really challenging. Anyway, what happened is that around he's 3 or 4 months old, I started noticing that I was attaching him to my boobs, and afterwards I was preparing him formula milk, and he just would not want to drink it. So I started, thinking maybe he's getting enough from my boobs, Maybe I finally got milk supply enough for his needs, and that was exactly the case. So just go with your instinct. I'm telling you that after he was 4 months old, we switched like exclusively to my milk, and he did not drink formula anymore. And obviously when he was like 5 or 6 months old, we started introducing solids as well, a little bit of fruit, apple, pear, and so on and so on. But I just kept breastfeeding until he was 4 years old. So our breastfeeding journey was a very long one, and I'm super happy, super content, super pleased that I was able to give my whole self to my kid. And I'm just hoping that I was able to transfer enough good things from my milk, enough for his immune system to be, just well and healthy. I'm speeding through my breastfeeding experience because I really want you to go back and listen more carefully to my first video about breastfeeding that I did whilst it was still, very fresh for me. I think I did it within the first year of breastfeeding. So I just explained how everything worked for me. But in this video I just wanted to concentrate on the importance of breastfeeding. I think that mom's milk is the best thing you can possibly do for your child, because it's full of nutrients. As time passes by, it actually adjusts. The formula of your milk actually changes and adjusts to the age of your child and to your child's current needs, which is absolutely amazing. It's just a miracle what your body and what nature can do. So obviously it's also important that this is a pleasant experience, and if you don't want to breastfeed anymore for some reason, if you aren't comfortable with it anymore, then you shouldn't be doing it. I think the important thing is to find that synchrony between a child and a mother. If the connection is still there, if child wants to breastfeed and if mother is willing to breastfeed because obviously she likes it as well, then it's a good thing to go on. Don't worry, it won't go on until he's 8 years old, trust me. I looked into that because as a mom of a little toddler that I was still breastfeeding like 3 times a day, even 4 times a day, I was also a bit worried, you know, if he's still going to want a boob when he starts school, you know. So I started my research and I actually learned a lot about natural weaning. Which basically means that you wean your baby off your breasts by the laws of nature, and every child is different, but it will happen between the age of 3 and 5 years old. Your child will just abandon the boob. So I had the milk still until he was 3.5 years old. Then breastfeeding started getting more and more sporadic, in terms that he would only latch a little bit in the morning, and he would ask for a boob a little bit in the evening before going to sleep. He also stopped sleeping in the afternoon, so we basically did not breastfeed anymore in the afternoon hours. So there was like 2 breastfeeding a day, which somehow then became only 1. And by the time he was 4 years old, I had only a couple of drops, but only in my right boob, because this is where he attached. He did not want the left boob anymore, just the right one. He had his preference and that's it. Until we arrived to the point where basically he just did not want boob anymore. In terms that I was, you know, reading him books before going to sleep, and he just preferred to listen to a good book, good story, and also in the mornings I would read him. So he just preferred that, and he did not think about boob anymore. I myself even asked him if he wanted to breastfeed, you know, if he wanted my boob, and he said no, I don't. And there was a couple of times when he asked me for a boob, like he would not want the boob for a month or 2, and then he would ask me, and I always allowed him, and it was just like for a couple of minutes, and then he would be okay with that, and he did not ask again for a couple of weeks or a month, and that's how basically we just stopped breastfeeding. The very last time he actually asked for a boob was a couple of months ago, and it was after the longest period that he did not ask for a boob. And I told him, you're a big boy now, you know, you don't need a mom's boob, but you know, my wing is always here for you to protect you and to warm you up whenever you need that. So I reassured him with the words, but still, as he insisted, I said, okay, just let's try. And he did not know how to breastfeed anymore, so he just lost that suction instinct that all newborns have, which is something that basically concluded the story, confirmed that it's a chapter that's over for himself and for me as well, you know, and we're both fine with that. It was just a beautiful experience, and I'm so grateful to be able to share it today with you. Do I think that every woman should insist on breastfeeding? No, I don't, because I myself know that it's not an easy journey. You really do need to have a lot of time to dedicate to it. So there are a lot of numerous different factors in your life that influence on breastfeeding. The most important thing, I believe, is to just try without, you know, having your mind set too much on it, in terms that try and just see what happens. Don't give up, because for as long as you can maybe do both formula and breastfeeding, I think it's always so beneficial that your child gets as much of your milk as possible, but just don't stress yourself too much about it. So this is my piece of advice. Also, if you can find a good support system, there are online or on your local midwife center or something like this. It would be really good to have somebody that can give you, you know, a little bit of courage, boost your confidence in the hard moments, encourage you to not give up. If you have some difficulties such as sore boobs or pain or even cracks, it's also important to know that there is help. I would also say that it's really important that you alimент yourself well, that you eat healthy, that you take a lot of liquids and fluids in your body, because it's so important when you're breastfeeding. You can drink tea, which is made for breastfeeding moms, with those special herbs that actually will encourage boost your lactation and milk supply. It's a stressful thing for your organism. You should just treat it well. And also I would suggest to take in some vitamins for breastfeeding that help me a lot. Breastfeeding is very, very complex. So I think it's always good to have somebody who can support you. Guys, I hope this video was helpful to you, and if you have any questions about my breastfeeding journey, leave them to me in the comment section. I would be happy to answer. And yeah, I'm also going to link below the breastfeeding videos that I've done in the past. With this video I just wanted to conclude this breastfeeding chapter. And I'm just so blessed and happy that I was able to breastfeed for 4 years, you know.